He is one of the top athletes I have ever coached.
He's never met a throw he didn't like.
Zach goes for it all.
At any time, he can make that game-breaking play.
Wilson, touchdown.
He has a definite swagger.
He's got this gleam in his eye.
There's intangibles there. To be at the level Zach's at, you have to have that.
Hey everyone, it's Daniel Jeremiah from Move the Sticks.
And I'm Bucky Brooks, and this is Zach Wilson's 360.
With the second pick in the 2021 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Zach Wilson, quarterback, BYU.
What's up, everybody? DJ and Bucky back with you. And not a surprise to see Zach Wilson hear his name called by the New York Jets, because if at the bottom of the screen you've been listening to the Move the Sticks podcast, NFL.com/podcast, you've been watching our videos, NFL.com/MTS video. Buck, we've been saying this for a long time.
Oh, we have been saying it for a long time, and the 360 series is your opportunity to really do a deep dive into Zach Wilson, who he was coming up, who he is as a player, and who he could be when he gets to the National Football League. We're going to talk to his coach, Kalani Sataki, about him coming up. We're going to put together a plan for Zach Wilson, and we're going to predict the future of how Zach Wilson is going to play and beyond.
Yeah, well, let's get it kicked off here as we do a deep dive on the Jets' new signal caller with his college head coach, Kalani Sataki, who he had identified Wilson very early on in his prep career, but it wasn't just for his exploits on the football field.
Touchdown, BYU. A spin, a dive, and a score.
Wilson looking to the end zone. He has a man. Touchdown.
Can we go back to high school with him? What was it about him that got you excited about him to bring him into the program?
Well, what got me excited is that he's a multi-sport athlete. He plays a lot of different sports, starting point guard on his basketball team, loves competing.
Beautiful pass.
So to me, it's like he wasn't just a specialized guy that just threw the ball and that's all he did. He could do a lot of different things. And he had the toughness so he could play safety. He could do whatever he wanted, you know. And for me, it was like, okay, this guy's got it. I think it's important for guys to learn how to play football, but also learn how to play basketball. I think basketball is a great sport for football players. Great agility. I mean, LeBron James could play football. You know, Allen Iverson is a great football player. So I think it correlates to being a great athlete on the field.
Touchdown Chargers, and Zach Wilson right on the money.
He has a definite swagger about him, I think, that pushes him and maybe pushes the people around him and leads him to success. So he's definitely pretty confident.
That's been a common denominator whenever we've talked to people about Zach. We've heard confidence, swagger, and those things. Yeah. So what is it like when the first time you interact with him?
So he was young. He was like, I think he was probably a fifth grader. His dad was coaching him in Little League football, and we were at a different high school at the time, and they were in that boundary. So I got to kind of know him young, but you could definitely tell, like, he was a confident kid even at that age, but talented. Like when I would watch him even just through movement or throwing the ball, he was just a really good athlete, and you could tell that he was going to, be successful as an athlete.
You know, you talked about his swagger, but we also hear a lot about Zach's competitiveness.
Yeah.
Do you have any examples of that competitive side coming out where you've had to maybe either harness it or anything?
Oh man, there's been a few. He liked to run guys over in high school, and I was always worried we were going to lose him, so that made a concern. We were in a really cold weather game, and he scrambled out and put a pretty good shot on this linebacker. And I was talking to him on the sideline. I'm like, hey, you got to get down. Like, don't. He's like, man, that felt good. He just loves that kind of stuff.
Speaking of the fun stuff, obviously we see these wild throws when he's at BYU, when he's at his pro day.
Oh my goodness, that is just a silly throw.
What is the best throw that you ever witnessed while you were coaching?
We were playing Highland in the playoffs where he had to scramble out, was getting, couldn't really get his hips squared around, and was able to kind of throw it back to his left a little bit to the hash, from the numbers to the hash. That was a big throw. It was about 60-yard throw that was pretty special.
Now he's going to throw deep. He has a man wide open downfield, and Noah Kerr has the football.
How good of a basketball player was Zach?
He was an exceptional basketball player, had exceptional speed, just a great feel for the game.
Zach Wilson knocks down the three.
If you're a great athlete, every one of them has an arrogance about it. And that's why he's where he's at right now, is because No shot's a bad shot.
Zach Wilson with a big bucket.
I can get by anybody.
And a beautiful move. He finishes.
To be at the level Zach's at, you have to have that. And that's what kind of separates him from a lot of different players is he believes he can do everything. And that's a good thing. And at the same time, as a coach, you've got to kind of wrangle some of that in. But at the same time, you don't want to take it away because that's who makes him who he is.
Coach, we were talking a little bit before we came on, and you mentioned the fact that you're a Packer fan. So you travel back to Wisconsin, try and get a game at Lambeau each and every year. I'm curious, take your coach hat on, just put your fan hat on a little bit. You've watched a lot of Aaron Rodgers over the years. You follow Zach. Do you see any of those similarities that we see?
I do. I love Aaron Rodgers, but I think Zach is a far superior athlete to Aaron Rodgers, and I think Aaron Rodgers is the best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion.
Has a window and shimmies in for the score.
But I think Zach, like I say, that the accuracy in an NFL game is still yet to be proven. But I think he has all those intangibles that a lot of people that don't know, I don't care what sport it is, there's intangibles there that some people have and some players don't. And Zach has those intangibles. Those are things that can't be coached. Those are things that you have to do on the fly to make something out of nothing. And so I do think Zach has a lot of tools in the bag that when he gets there, people are going to be very surprised.
What I love about all those conversations, Buck, is the fact, and it started with Kalani Sataki, as head coach at BYU, the fact that it was his ability to play basketball as well as football that they feel like was key in his overall development. And I feel like we preach this all the time on the Move the Sticks podcast. We are the champions of this cause. Do not specialize. Play as many sports as you can.
Yeah, multi-sports athletes, it's been proven time and time again that those guys go on to have success beyond high school, college, and even in the pros. And so when you think about the quarterback position, having a guy who has honed his craft in another sport, it helps him play quarterback at a higher level. Basketball, we've heard so many coaches come on and talk about basketball, not only the athleticism, but the court awareness and the vision and how it translates to success when you get on the grass. And so Zach Wilson, obviously in the clips you saw, he's a terrific basketball player. I think that certainly plays out when you watch him play quarterback at BYU.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up on this one. To me, when you watch those basketball clips, I see somebody that's very fluid and smooth. And when you watch him on the football field, you see the same thing. Zach Wilson is a smooth customer.
Coming up next on Move the Sticks 360.
He just always is so willing to push through, like give me that tough throw.
Zach Wilson's perseverance pays off at BYU.
Welcome back to Move the Sticks 360 as we're looking at Zach Wilson. And Buck, check out these numbers from his final season.
A big time jump from the previous year, but you see it. I mean, he was one of the top passers and playmakers in all of college football. You see the percentage, the passer, touchdowns to interception. Everything that Zach Wilson did in 2020 was spectacular. One of the reasons why the Jets felt so strongly about taking him number 2 overall.
Well, the numbers don't tell the whole story either, as you're going to find out here. His confidence and composure also made his teammates much better.
The set, the fire for the end zone. Carter Wheat is there and touchdown Cougars.
He's never met a throw he didn't like.
That's another knife right there.
He's got the arm strength. He's got the mobility.
Touchdown BYU.
He's never seen a challenge that he was afraid to rise to.
You always talk about toughness when it comes to your program. When were you able to identify the toughness that you feel like is necessary to be the starting quarterback for your program?
Well, I think toughness is a relative term, so it's used in so many different ways. For me, it's toughness is showing up on time, being responsible and accountable for what you say, being a good friend. That's what toughness is to me. And I've seen him do all those things. I've seen him, when he's struggling with his own injuries, look out to serve others. He is a tough man because he does all the things that you ask of him and then more.
Wilson rolls, feels the pressure, deep heave, and what a catch made, Dax Milne.
Zach Wilson was your roommate. Do you have a favorite throw, like a favorite memory of a throw that happened in a game that you're just like, wow, That is one remarkable throw that my man just put up.
Yes, it was. He rolled out right. I was on a go route on their sideline, and he rolled out opposite of me. And then I thought he was, just kind of counting me out. But I just stayed running on the opposite sideline, and all of a sudden he turned, and I seen the ball go up in the air.
Wilson going deep.
And I was like, oh my gosh, that is the farthest throw I've ever seen.
Wilson toward the end zone.
The ball stayed in the air for forever and finally came down to me, and I scored.
And it is caught. Milne, touchdown. Take a bow.
You played at BYU, had a terrific career at BYU. I played with some BYU players, Ty Detmer and Jim McMahon, and it's always been a thing where BYU develops quarterbacks. What is it about your experiences at BYU that enabled you to not only play in the National Football League, but to now pass on that knowledge to others who aspire to play at that high level?
Yeah, it is a special group there. There's been a lot of great quarterbacks that have come through, and I know in my time there with that legacy of quarterbacks that have gone before me, you want to be a part of those guys. There's a high expectation that's there when you're the quarterback of that university, but it's exciting to be a part of it. It's a great challenge. And when things are good, it's usually because the quarterback position is rolling there.
Wilson, there is Bushman, touchdown BYU.
I had a chance to meet Zach during his freshman year, and it's been great. It's been great to see his development as a player. He's the type of guy that's going to go back and watch every single game 3 times, and he's going to go and take notes every single time of, all right, here's what I did then, what can I do now? And to see that coupled with every day he came out here and worked with us, it was always about what can I do to improve my game to take myself to the elite level.
Wilson into the end zone, and it is hauled in for the touchdown.
I've seen him get frustrated, like all great competitors, but I've never seen him without his confidence. And, he had a real challenging sophomore year, and through all of that, I saw a guy who was not physically, certainly at his best, but still go out there and play and believe that he could get the job done and believe that he was the best guy for the job.
And it is caught in the end zone. What a throw.
You get this sense that he just always is so willing to push through, like, give me the next challenge, give me that tough throw, because even if I don't get it today, I'm going to work on it, and I'm going to be aware of what I need to do, and when I come back, I'm going to want to show you that I can make that throw. That's the thing that I really loved about the way that Zach approached things. It was just this excitement for give me that challenging throw.
Coach, as an offensive coordinator and a play caller, it has to be a challenge to take someone who is very gifted like Zach. How do you harness his talents to make sure he plays within the confines of the offense while allowing him to also be creative with his talents?
This past year in particular, there weren't very many times where we were saying, be careful. There were very, very few times that we were saying, hey, now remember this. It was more or less just calling the play and then, hey, Zach, go do your thing. And we trusted him that when we didn't have the best play call, that he could find a way to run around and still make something out of it.
Stretching it for the goal line, give him 6.
The one thing that I think we really tried to do, especially this year, is just try to keep him protected, and so we did not run a lot of 6-man protection. We were a lot of 7-man protection with the idea that if we were going to throw the ball down the field, then let's protect him and let's make sure that he's not getting blindsided.
Wilson shuffles and right to the goal line. It's caught. Touchdown, Isaac Rex.
When Zach Wilson steps into the huddle, how's his leadership ability conveyed to his teammates?
I would start by saying that he's done the work ahead of time so that when he does step into the huddle, he's already got their respect, because they know no one knows more about that opponent than he does. No one has spent more time with them saying, hey, come up here, on June 13th in the summer at 8:30 p.m. because he's not doing anything. He's going, hey, let's go up to the field and throw for a little bit. On January 20th, when a lot of guys aren't watching football at all and their coaches are on the road recruiting, he's watching film. And, he's texting saying, hey, Coach, did you see the Rams do this year? Did you see this concept? I really like that. You think we could do that? He truly is a football junkie and loves the game, loves the mental challenge of it. I would say the last thing is he's got this gleam in his eye, this excitement for the game, in which people see that and go, all right, I think something really cool is about to happen because of that twinkle I see in this guy's eye.
Great work there by Buck, talking to all those sources there at BYU. And as you compare him side by side with the Hall of Famer Steve Young, the numbers are quite impressive. You look at the exact same number of touchdowns. Really incredible. Steve Young was at 71% in 1983. That is nuts. But a big-time career there for Zach Wilson with the Cougars.
Still to come on Move the Sticks 360. From BYU to Broadway, Zach Wilson has Jets fans excited that Gang Green can be great.
This is a team game. You can go from a losing season one year to a winning season the next. You can flip it real quick.
Joe, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. When did you start playing football?
7 years old.
7 years old. Just remember, man, have fun. This is still that same game that you started playing when you were 7 years old.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna give you guys everything I got.
I know you are.
Coach.
What's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, bro. Congratulations, man. It's freaking unbelievable.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey.
I'm pumped.
You know how exciting this is, man. I'm pumped for you. I'm pumped for your family. The biggest thing I want to tell you, just remember this. This organization is going to lift you, not the other way around. You feel me? This is all about just enjoy this day. What a freaking moment. What a freaking moment. It's going to be all gas from here on out. You feel me?
Yes, sir.
How you doing? Congratulations. I think I probably know more about you than I know about my own kids. But yeah, we're so happy. We're so happy to have you. You're gonna love it here, and I can't wait to see you.
Well, let's hats off there to Coach Sala with the Friggins. I'm a big fan of Friggin. That's a nice selection, choice of words there. Zach Wilson, we saw him here on draft night, walking down the runway, accepting the jersey, becoming the second overall pick, and had a chance to listen to him on draft night. Sounds like he's ready to go.
When I made my decision to come out of college, it was because I felt like mentally, physically, I was ready for the NFL game. I felt like my maturity, my ability to pick up an offense, be able to, connect with the guys around me was ready to go. And so when I decided to come out, that was the decision I made is that I got to be ready to play in the NFL. So, I'm excited to take this full on because, since I was 7 years old, we've been working on how to handle to be an NFL player. I think what makes something so special is being able to be a part of something and make something special. When a team isn't doing super well and you can go in there and actually be a key piece into what actually flips that organization around, I think that's so special. And so I'm so excited, me along with this new coaching staff as well, to go in there and try and do the best that we can to flip this thing around. Well, I think it's so similar to BYU, the ability to, tons of shifts, motions, a little bit of pro style under center, pushing the ball down the field, play action pass. I think that West Coast style offense that Coach LaFleur and Coach Sala are going to bring in is exactly, if I had to write exactly the offense I'd want to play in, it would be right there. I got a taste of it going through this whole, recruitment process, trying to figure out, the things that we like and don't like. But, I think the coaching staff is exactly what I needed and the scheme is right there. So I can't wait to start learning it. The Jets are going to get a guy that, I'm a big believer in bringing the guys around you together, having a strong connection with them. So that's a leader I'm going to be, the man that they can look up to, they can call for any advice, any help that they ever need. And then, as a player, I'm going to make sure I'm in the facility every single day, giving it everything I have, because I want to, do whatever I can to make sure that this team is on the right track and we're getting all the right things done. McCown gave me some of the best advice. He was just talking about how amazing of a situation this is, how he came from a small town in Texas, I believe. And that, he never wanted to go to the big city, and he got there to New York and he loved it. And he said he loved living in Jersey and he loved the culture and he loved that, the atmosphere and culture Joe Douglas was bringing in and some of the hires that he made. And he just felt like that team was right there on the rise. And so I thought that was so cool to hear that from him.
Yeah, pretty cool there to have a conversation with Josh McCown. And Buck, as we're trying to look to the future here, I understand you have some special powers that can guide us not only through the first season for Zach Wilson, but through his entire career, as well as the aging process. That's the kind of ability you have.
That is kind of Billy. So I'm going to tap into some of those powers. I'm going to channel my Johnny Carson and see if I can do that. And here we go. First year as a rookie, 17 games, leads a dramatic fourth quarter win over Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, the team to beat in the AFC East. He goes on to throw for, first Jets quarterback to throw over 4,000 yards since Broadway Joe Namath. 3 playoff appearances for the Jets. You have to be excited if you're in Broadway. Does everything to surpass Joe Namath. I wonder if he's going to wear the mink and all that other stuff. Leads the Jets to the Super Bowl without a guarantee. And then you talk about finishing it up. A martial arts instructor. Shout out to Cobra Kai, Karate Kid. JetBlue is now changed to Jet Green. Shout out to his uncle. So you have to like the way that he matured, even with the white hair and the headband. All things point to Zach Wilson having tremendous success in New York.
Yeah, I mean, that was like some Anderson Cooper flow that he had going on there. I love the gray look there on Zach Wilson. It's hard for him to look bad, man. He's got the look, that's for sure. When you look at the Jets, you heard it in that piece about his fit there with LaFleur. You like it? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Oh, I like it. And more importantly, I like what Robert Saleh said. Hey, the organization is going to lift you up, not the other way around. Too often we get that messed up. The team has to build up the quarterback. Can't wait to see what Joe D and crew do.
Yeah, they've done a nice job of building up around him. I like Elijah Vera Tucker at guard next to Becton. They have a good offensive line in place. They've got a stable of backs. Corey Davis on the outside, Denzel Mims to go along with Elijah Moore. I like what the Jets are building here for their young quarterback. And we like the fact that you hung with us here on Move the Sticks. Don't forget to check out the podcast, NFL.com/podcast. We'll catch you there. We've got all your football needs covered. We appreciate you being with us here on Move the Sticks.